Hello, welcome to Econometrics Melody. In this tutorial, we'll deal with the command append and reshape. These commands are very useful in reorganizing and combining data sets. Let's begin. With this main Stata interface active, each time press Ctrl 8 for activating data editor and Ctrl 9 for activating two files. The first command is append, that appends data sets. Let us clear everything and create the first data with the variable symbol, number, name, and income. And let us save it with the appropriate name app1. Similarly, let us create another data set with the variables symbol, number, and name common to the previous one, and the variable is a different variable, and let us save it with the name app2. Now let us try our simple append command and see what happens. Let us consider app1, dataset app1 is our master, and let us append this using app2. So symbol, number, and the name, they are common variables in both the data sets. So this id is an indicator variable, 0 indicates the master and 1 indicates the using. So the same variables, they get stacked one over other, while the different variables, they create missing values based on whether they belong to master or using. Let us again try its variation. So if we use this keep option from the second data set, we are going to keep only the observations from variable name. So only the name, the observations with the name from the second data set is appended to the variable name, and rest other variables, whether they are same or different, they generate missing values, and the variable is from the using is not displayed over here. Now let us try another variation. Let us again use data app1 is master, and the variable name, it is string variable. So let us convert it to numeric and give its appropriate labeling, and let us append using app2. If you remember, the name variable in both the data sets, they were string, but now we have converted the master to numeric, and the using app2, it has the variable name is string itself, so there will not be any kind of appending due to mismatch in data type. But if we use this command, this option called force, then the appending is possible in a normal way, but the mismatch in data type, that is displayed with the missing values. Rest others, they follow this normal process of appending. So now let us try it other way around. Let us take app2 as master and again convert the name to numeric and provide it appropriate labeling. And if we try to append it again, due to the mismatch in data type, so the appending was not possible. But if we apply this option called force, again the appending is possible. Now let us deal with the labeling. What happens to the labeling? Okay, let us take string name again and let us give it proper appropriate labeling, and then let us label the variable name in this data set by name of stud only, and let us save it as data3, and you see the label. If you see this table, name of stud. Let us repeat the same process in data2 as well, and only the difference is its label of the variable name. So we have labeled it as student's name, and let us save it as data4, and if you see the label, it is student's name of a student and student name. This is the difference. Now let us use data3 as our master, and if we try to append it with data4, let us say the appending process is similar, but let us try to say the label. What happens to the label? So as f3, this data f3 has the label name of a stud, so the label of master is written, and this is further validated by another variation. So f4, it has the label student's name. Now if we append it using name3 f3, and what is the label? We get a student's name. Now let's go to another command called reshape. Let us clear everything, and this data set, we have generated a data set, and let us save it with reshape 1. It has the variable company, year, income, and sales. Here company represents one group for different years, and we want to change the shape of this data set. Again, let us invoke this data reshape 1 and use this command reshape wide. If you notice this, in sales we have for the same group and for different years, within same group for different years, we have the sales values also different. And if we specify income and if we don't specify sales, the reshape command, it will generate some error, because we have asked Stata to convert this data set into wide form, and our group variable I, this is the company, it is fine, and J, this is year. So only the that is income will be created in wide form, but there is a confusion in sales, and in order to avoid that confusion, within same group we must have equal value of sales. Otherwise we should have written wide income and sales as well. So let us say this. Let me write preserve in the command, and then let me replace, for the same group, let me replace the same value of sales, and let us run that command once again. Now if you see, for the same group we have same sales value, and if we mention only income but not sales, this will not encounter an error. You see, we have the wide form, the income for each year, but the sales, they only their constant value or common value is displayed. Okay, now let us restore back our data. So we get our data back, and we can try this once again. Let us use reshape. This is our original data, and let us again convert this data set into its wide form, but we include this income and sales. Both the income and sales, they have different values within group and for different years. So this is a simple command. See here, I is a group value and J, it represents the year, and we don't encounter any error. You see, income sales for 1980-81, the range of the year we have taken is from 1980 to 1984, so till 1984. Now immediately after executing this reshape wide, you can type reshape long to convert it into its long form, but this time we'll encounter the missing values. So Stata will, for each group, this will distribute the years uniformly. So in some group we may not have mentioned the years. You see, 83 and 84 is missing for group B, 82, 83 and 84 is missing for group D, and so on. And you can again convert it into its wide form. So this is very simple. Now let us switch the value of I and J, the variables I and J. Let us what happens. So we are converting this data set into wide form, and the I is this time the group. We have considered year as group and J age, so the company age, the J. So this is very useful in converting the panel data. So age, J is a string variable, so we specify it as a string, and let us see what happens. Now we have income for AA, we have 4 years, the range of the years is 1980 to 84. Now for AA, BB, CC, income and sales for A, income and sales for group B, 2 all the way to group G. So do we have group Z? Yes, all the way to group Z. So we have represented this the same thing in a different way. And if you write a reshape immediately after the command, reshape command, previously we had specified the wide option. Now let us convert it into its long form, but you will encounter this missing values, because for the range of years it will distribute the groups evenly, or for the same groups it will distribute the years evenly. irrespective of whether we have the observations for particular year, whether we have or we don't have the observations for particular year. Now let us try again some of its variation. Let us take reshape 1 in our is our master, and let us generate the province. Okay, new variable province, and let us label them, and let us order as well, and let us save it as the dataset reshape 2. Based on this, AA and BB, they come from East Province, and North Province constitutes of C, D, and E, and West Province it constitutes of F and G. Now, if you try write reshape wide income sales, and again our company is the group. This group, it is a company represents as group, and year represents as the variable J. You see again for year, and let us order this again. So we have this data. So if you exclude the province, we had got this wide form in our previous data also. So let us use a reshape 2 again, and let us now indicate the groups. There are two groups, province and company. Till now we have provided only one variable is the groups, but we can specify two groups as well, province and company, and let us see how does this work. So let us reshape and order this. Again we get the same thing as previous. For this, if you exclude the province, this result is same as the previous. Now let us reshape further. Let us convert it into wide. Now our province, this is going to act as a group. This is one group, another group, another group, and our company is going to act as different J. So J here means is equivalent to year in the previous example. So let us convert it into its wide form, and let us say this, we get this value. Now again immediately we had in this commands we have used a wide option. Now let us try to convert it into its long form. So for this we are going to extract the year. So this @ indicates the year, and we are going to store it in the J, that is year, and I is province. Okay, the group is going to be province, and we have that province over here. So this is the group, we indicate I is the group, province is going to be our group, and this @ sign, this is going to be, we are going to extract it in the form of J, and we rename it as year, that is stored in the year. So let us run this command. It's very simple. You see in the name year we have this year and the province. Now this is in the long form. Again we can convert it into long form. Again we have different groups AA, BB, CC, and we can keep sales and income. Now we can again create a new variable with the name company. So let us do this once again. If you see sales and income, we are going to have two variables after long, and now our the groups are province and year. This province and year, so they are acting as our group, and this AA, this is equivalent to year in the previous example. So let us run this and see what is our data like. So this is our data, but we have so many missing values generated, right? So we are going to clean this data. So we're going to clean this data. Let us generate an indicator variable, and if both the income and sales are missing, we replace it by 0, and we keep only those values that have the value 1. Let us order it, let us sort it as well, and let us drop this indicator variable, and let us save it as reshape 3. And now we want to check whether this is the same data that we have started with. that is reshape 2, whether this data reshape 3 is equal to reshape 3 or not. Reshape 2 and reshape 3, whether they are same or different. Reshape 3, if you use this is the string one, and our data in reshape 2, it was the year was in numeric form. Otherwise you can use this command. Let us use reshape 3 and let us compare this with the reshape 2 and see what are the differences and what are the matches. So province is matching, company is matching, only the year, it is string in master here is data reshape 3, and using it is float or in numeric form in using, and using here is reshape 2. So this, and the variable income it also matches, and sales it also matches. So please take your time in understanding this. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much, Econometrics Melody.